Welcome back to Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. Thanks again for joining us. We're joined by Gary Kovacic. He is the mayor of Arcadia, and I may have told you my wife's family's involved in horses, and so no doubt we are all very excited that a special race is coming to Santa Anita Park in Arcadia. What is it?
It's the Breeders' Cup World Championship. They're coming back to Santa Anita for the 2012 edition. We had a big press conference, so a little guy like me is not used to showing up with Mayor Villaraigosa and Bo Derek, who's on the state horse racing board. So it was a great announcement.
How did that happen?
Well, you really have to campaign.
You do.
For the event. It was suggested at the press conference that Mayor Villaraigosa may have twisted some arms along the way.
But that helps Arcadia.
Absolutely.
It helps the region.
It helps the region. It helps Arcadia. Last time it was run at Santa Anita, which broke all records for attendance and revenue. It was estimated to generate about $60 million in revenue and over $3 million in tax revenue alone. So
timing couldn't be any more perfect.
It's a great event. Brings the horse racing world to our fair city.
Speaking of tax revenue, all cities throughout the state are having challenges dealing with their pension obligations. As much as cities may want to be kind and generous to its employees, at this stage, I think there's bipartisan agreement that we need some form of pension reform. And so your city of Arcadia is looking towards that goal, and I believe that you've actually met it.
Right. The good news is we've finally reached agreement with our 5 bargaining units. One is a brand new unit that we had never had a contract with before, and they were tough negotiations, but in the end, we were able to establish a 2-tier system for new hires, and also to have significant pension reform that involves, over the course of 3 years, the employees once again paying their share to the pension.
Why should we care if we are not an employee of Arcadia? Explain how it actually impacts Arcadia residents.
Well, it's money. It's personnel in any city, especially a city the size of Arcadia,
which is
55,000.
That's a real size.
The personnel expenses are over 60% of our general fund budget, and so anytime you can kind of cap those costs, it's a direct benefit to the taxpayers, because if you don't do that, then the services that you provide to the public have to be decreased.
How would you respond to those that would say, since you are now setting up a second tier, a tier that is less generous, less beneficial to the new employees, that you are at risk of losing the best and brightest that normally would have considered government service? Because with government service, the rap had always been that you had outstanding benefits, health care, retirement, other types of bennies.
The benefits are still good, and people go into public service for any number of reasons, but I think money is only one.
It is.
A lot of people just enjoy working for the public. Hiring good public servants has always been competitive among cities.
But what about versus the private sector? See, I think a lot of folks were willing to take a smaller pay with the public sector because they knew they were getting better benefits than the private sector.
I think nowadays the salaries are almost equalized for a lot of jobs, both in the private and the public sector. A lot of public sector jobs don't have a corresponding private sector job description, but I think if you go out and you survey, especially in today's economy, available jobs and what you can accomplish both as far as pensions and salaries, I think there's still a benefit to being a public servant.
Mayor Kovacic, we thank you for joining us here. He is Gary Kovacic of the City of Arcadia. I'm Brad Pomerance. To watch more editions of Local Edition, go to Channel 1 Video on Demand, then Local, then My Government. Thanks for watching. We're going to send you back to HLN.